We, husband 32 male and me 26 female, have been told by his brother 37 male and sister-in-law 30s that we should supply all Christmas gifts for the kids due to our lack of kids. My husband has a very large family. In total, I think his father has 8 brothers and sisters. They all got married and had 2 to 6 children each. Now their children are grown up and starting families as well. We are looking at easily, I believe, 15 children in the family as of right now. We all get together for Christmas every year at his grandparents' house. Sounds great, right? Right. Normally, after Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving, which they also get together for, we pick names for the children's gift swap. There is also a men and women gift swap, which my husband and I, who do not have children, join in on. Now, to give you an idea of how the gifting has been the last 10 years, husband and I would buy gifts for his parents, his brother and wife, and their 4 kids. Great, awesome, works fine. Last year, they said they would rather we just bought gifts for the kids, so we did. Same thing we'd always gotten them. Books at their reading level, pajamas, and puzzles of some kind. They were upset, but we couldn't place why. We also didn't get any gifts at all, which we didn't comment on, but my husband admitted he was a bit hurt to get nothing from his parents versus his brother and sister-in-law getting gifts. I am not a super social person, so I spent most of Thanksgiving reading a book and watching one of the youngest cousins sleep. Eventually, we all gathered up so the kids could draw names of their cousins for the gift swap. They finished that up, and then the husband's brother, who we'll just call Timmy, says an uncle, husband, will buy all the kids a gift too, to my husband and I, giving him looks of the "and you." We laughed and said, "Oh no, we'll just be bringing the candy again this year." His brother then started in that we should buy all of the children gifts since we have none, and that it wasn't very Christian of us not to bless the children with our good fortune. My husband at this point pulled him aside into the kitchen and told him he wasn't buying all the cousins gifts, and if he wanted to, he was welcome to. They started to argue, and Timmy yelled that we shouldn't come to Christmas anymore. I handed over the baby. We left, said we'd email them about it later when they'd calmed down enough to talk like adults, but just like someone else's viewpoint, my husband is really upset, and his parents are agreeing with Timmy that we should be buying more gifts, and since we have no one to buy them for but kids now. He threw the fact that we get no gifts from anyone at them, and they said we're adults now and Christmas is for kids. He pointed out that they gift Timmy and his wife things still, but they said we'd already bought it, might as well. I've been shopping with his mother and she bought gifts for Timmy's wife Candy again this year already. I'm frustrated and feel like no one is handling any of this well. I want to step in and help my husband, but I want someone else to look at this message before I do anything other than listen and offer suggestion of using "I feel this when you do this" to his parents. Update 1. Thanks for everyone who came and tossed in their 2 cents. It was wonderful to hear from other people without having to worry if they would repeat my chatter to the other party involved. So I'm not 100% sure where I should start. I'm about 3 drinks in just to calm myself, but 1, I did show my husband in the post. After we talked, I brought up T-Day 2015 and asked him if he wanted some more input than I normally give him on his family drama. He said yes. I pointed out the favoritism of his brother over him in almost anything. I made a list of showing times when it happened where they and he were fully in the wrong just to prove the point. He went over the texts from his brother, sister-in-law, mother, father, aunt, and cousin. Just to recap names: brother Timmy, sister-in-law Candy, mother Rhonda, father Keith, Aunt Kara, cousin Ben. Husband, Todd. This is shorter than husband. I'm lazy. So the day after I posted, after we went over the texts, which started after we missed their call and went up until we sent the email, all just spiteful about how we waste our money, time, and life volunteering and don't spend enough time with their children, cousins, cousins' children, family anymore. It started out telling Todd he was being a candy ass who is whipped by his cold, harpy, child-hated wife, and just degraded from there. Todd only sent back a few saying he'd email him about it and asking him not to talk about me. So we sent the email. Here is basically what we sent. I semi-edited it to send it as if it was just from him. We almost added in his parents, but decided we'd just forward it to them if it really got out of hand. No problem. Timmy did it for him. Yes. Well, that went over as bad as water on a grease fire. 1. Timmy forwarded the email to Rhonda and Keith, Kara, and Ben. That was rude, but we were going to do the same thing either way. Ben sent us an email letting us know what Timmy did and said he was sorry. He wasn't there to jump in, but would try to talk to Timmy. Timmy and Ben are really close, so it was nice to see he thought Timmy was being unreasonable as well, since they're normally very close and like-minded. I'm not going to put his email here, I'm just going to highlight what he said and then tell you what Keith and Rhonda said in their email/visit. I'm a cold, child-hating harpy and I sleep around. I'm an atheist or a Muslim or something, I never really picked. I'm dragging Tor from the church and his family. We don't spend any time at all with the family anymore. We are wasting our lifetime, money, volunteering with animals, helping slanting to help refugees was un-American, and this is my fault since I'm first-generation American and don't understand what it means to be one or deserve to live here. I'm rude and never talk to them unless it's about animal rescue or animal rights. Yeah, so at this point, we're kind of laughing and crying and kind of shocked. We spent the rest of the day cleaning up our house and talking about what we wanted to do and reply back. We hadn't checked our email and had stuck our phones on vibrate and were just trying to enjoy our day off together. They're pretty rare, sadly. So, surprise, his parents drove all the way out to talk to us. I say talk, but it was more like being talked at. They asked me to leave so they could talk to Todd about his actions and rude email. Todd said no, said I was his family and my wife, and we were handling this together. They tried to convince us we'd said in front of the family. We didn't. We'd mentioned buying gifts for everyone before, that we didn't love Jesus anymore since we hadn't been going to church, and some of what Timmy had sent in the email too. When his father started to insult me and then in turn my father too, I was done. He stood up and said thank you for coming to visit us in our home for the first time, but we have errands to run and you need to leave now. They refused. He told them they had to go now or would call the police. They left. He cried, I cried. Our cats knocked over their cubs. Where did that come from? Well, that's knocked me sideways, that one. We ended up calling my dad and telling him everything, as well as showing him both emails. He told us they have before talked about me/us to him. You should be able to fix your child, was something he told us had been said. We decided we're not going to their Christmas either. I told Todd I can't go back there anymore, nor can I look at any of them the same again. I knew they'd always not like me as much as some of the other daughters-in-laws, but I didn't know it was to that extent. They've always been nice and polite to my face, invited and included me in all events. No one has ever said anything to Todd either. As it stands, I'm waiting for my dad and brother to get in town, and then we're going to sit down and decide what we would like to do. Tor said he just wants it to be small and doesn't mind where Christmas happens, and said he felt closer to my dad and brother anyway. We told Ben what happened and shipped his gift to him. Haven't decided yet what I would do with the nibbling gifts, but I already donated all the adult gifts. I'd also like to add that I'm not of another ethnicity. My father is German and moved to the US when he was 20 to marry my mother, so I'm a pasty white chick. But I guess my dad is an American. That's bad. Update 2. I wish this update was we all made up and Christmas will be so great, but it's not. Yesterday, we had a small Christmas party with some friends since we'll be leaving on the 24th for a holiday. Myself, Todd, Dad, and Theo, who I'll name Theo, my friend Sandy grew up near me. We've been friends for years, and she became friends with Timmy and his wife too. They're friends together on Facebook. We told her there was a tiff, but didn't elaborate to not damage their friendship. Big mistake, since she tagged us in her "Woo, look at my gift/QQ, my friend is leaving me for Christmas" post. The photo is of us drinking while dancing around her new Roomba. I wouldn't normally buy something that expensive just for Christmas, so Timmy saw the post. Not only did he take offense to her drinking, none of them drink and are against drinking, he really flipped his lid about her getting a Roomba. He lost his crap in the comments and then showed up at our apartment. I was in the shower when Timmy showed up. I heard someone knocking on the door, which had to be pretty loud to hear it all the way in the master bedroom shower. I finished the shower, around midway through Todd and him fighting. Todd said he was beating the door down. He opened the door and refused to be let in any further in the hallway. Tim was yelling at him about the gift, about his lack of church going, about us going out of town, demanding his kids' gifts. I donated them and asked him where we got off buying such a pricey gift for someone who isn't related and being selfish about gifting the other children. So around this point, I came out of the shower after putting on pajamas. It's nearly 1 a.m. now. I come out, see Timmy, I'm kind of shocked. Todd tells Timmy it's late and we can talk about this when we get back from holiday with the pastor. He pushed Todd. Todd falls back into the wall, putting a dent in it. This woke my dad and Theo. I moved in front of Tim since he was pulling back to hit Todd. He hit me, knocking me down on top of Todd. Dad and Theo restrained him. Our next-door neighbor was woken and called 911. Cops showed up, separated all of us, we told them what had happened, didn't tell them about the other problems, shortened up to there has been a Christmas disagreement. He also called an ambulance since Todd cut his arm on a dish that broke and my face was quickly turning purple. The EMS who showed up know Todd and were very upset about him and me being hurt. The cops asked us if we wanted to press charges. I started to say no. Todd says yes. So Timmy was arrested. We went to the ER since Todd needed some stitches. Our phones have been blowing up ever since. I turned mine off after I told Sandy she needed to not let Tim and Candy see any post about us, since they're pissed at us. She said okay. I went through and unfriended and grouped anyone who was also friends with any in-law family into a restricted group so they can't see anything we're up to again. I hope Rhonda and Keith have been blowing up Todd's phone. He's only answered them in text with what happened, that we would not drop charges or pay his bail, and to stop contacting. I went through and unfriended and grouped anyone who was also friends with any in-law family into a restricted group so they can't see anything we're up to again. I hope Rhonda and Keith have been blowing up Todd's phone. He's only answered them in text with what happened, that we would not drop charges or pay his bail, and to stop contacting us at all. Between the last update and this one, we had talked to some of the other family members and they all said that they disagreed with Timmy. His grandparents said they did too, but that they couldn't host the Christmas and couldn't stop him from uninviting us. They said they would talk to him and we were like, okay, cool, maybe next year we can be friends again. That isn't the case anymore at all. There is no coming back from this. We'll be filing a restraining order when we get home. Todd is talking about moving us out of our home state. Dad and Theo think this is a good idea. Dad is annoyed that I wouldn't let him hit Tim, so he's sulking a bit, but I think that he's more upset that we lost another family, basically. So yeah, I get to enjoy my trip with a black eye/cheek. Todd has a 4-inch gash on his arm. Dad is sulking, and Theo is happy since he's smoking pot, so A+ Christmas. As you probably guessed from the dates in this one, that this post was some time ago. And I always am trying to reflect on it and wonder what happened next. You know, that's not the end of that drama. That level of batshit crazy doesn't just stop there. Imagine getting so riled up from seeing a Facebook post that the Roomba of all things sent Timmy over the edge. A Roomba! As I was reading what was going on about how this guy, this Timmy, burst through the door, I just had this visual image of the door flying open, Timmy seeing this room, and him just freaking toe punting out the window, yelling Roomba, and then causing chaos around the apartment. Any of you fantastic artists out there, if you could make that come to life of that toe punting of the Roomba out the window of an angry man, please, @MarkNarrations on X. Only if you got time, of course, and you fancy doing it. But wow. Yeah, I'd agree with, getting yourself out of that state and getting out of that area if you can. I know it's extreme to do, but for your own peace of mind, for your own sanity, it doesn't seem that big when you put it that way. But what do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories. Now, let's move on to another story. My husband went on a last date with a ex a week before we got married to make sure his ex was always the one who got away. According to everyone around him, he ended things because he didn't see a future with her, but everyone around him was shocked because she's so good and beautiful. Then we met, and I soon understood that everyone from his side preferred her. I even heard some calling me the Camilla, although I'm neither much older nor less attractive. In my opinion, I love how I look, even if I don't tick all of the beauty boxes, like tall, blonde, blue eyes, etc., like his ex. He never given me any reason to doubt him. However, he gave me the impression that he knew exactly what he wanted, was secure enough in his heart that he told me he loved me a few months into our relationship, and I never felt like he was lying or that I wasn't enough. He's fully aware of what people think about him leaving his ex, and he gave the impression that he thought they were silly and childish. He told his mom that I am who he chose, and if she wanted a part of it, she needed to clean up her act. We got married 3 years ago, and only now I found out that he went on a date with his ex a few days before our wedding. He wanted to know for sure that she wasn't, like everyone around him thought, the one who got away. He wanted to make 100% sure. His mom told me gleefully when she visited our new baby, and she looked at my daughter and said she wondered what would have happened if he changed his mind after the date and she was visiting their baby now, my husband and the one who got aways, with a sigh but gleefully. You know what I mean. I haven't spoken to him for a week, and I hate silent treatment, but I just can't talk to him. It isn't something I'm doing to punish him or manipulate him or get the upper hand to control him. I just can't look at him or talk to him. Am I the A for this silent treatment? Update. 1. My husband and I have talked. Well, he did most of the talking and I listened. I asked him for the honest truth. He said that he got cold feet. He was panicking about why nobody saw what he saw. He showed me texts from his family and friends up into our wedding of people asking him why he was doing this and if he really was sure. His sister said that he was making a huge mistake after the wedding. However, everyone stopped and they basically told him they respected his decision even if they couldn't understand it. I never felt like they liked me, but I have noticed that they were less intense and rude after the marriage. But starting now, less rude isn't enough for me anymore. The date was dinner and wine. He understood it was wrong the second he sat at the table, but didn't want to just leave because it would have been weird and rude to ditch when he was the one who made the dinner plans. He didn't tell me because he knew I would call off the wedding and think it was bigger than it was. He didn't want to hurt me. He said that he loved me from the day we met and that never changed. He's going to no contact with his sister and mother, most of his friends and family, his decision, not mine. His father is the one member that genuinely loves me. I have no problem having him in my life. We're far from okay. I told him I needed time because we can't make any decisions, and right now we needed to concentrate on our baby. I don't want us to miss out on her first weeks. There's something new with her every day, and I don't want us to miss that. I don't want this experience to be tainted with being heartbroken. I refuse to miss out on the joy my baby has brought to my life. I see therapy and counseling in the future, but not right now. I don't want that then either. Either come out stronger or we separate. I'm 3 years older than my husband and an 8 older than his ex. The people in my DMs calling me ugly and jealous, I am neither. Not every girl dreams to be tall and blonde. Not every man likes tall and blonde. Only incels think that Stacy is golds and nothing else. They broke up because my husband didn't develop feelings for her. When he realized it wasn't happening, he ended things because he was looking for love. So no, I was not the backup, even if many people in my previous post thought it was a good idea to call me a backup to add more insult to injury.